My working journal. This will show you the main highlights that I've learned and how to apply them in certain documents. This is my contents. You have all the projects that we've done A through D, and then also E. And then I'll be going over the file ribbon, the home ribbon, the insert ribbon, design ribbon, page layout ribbon, benefits ribbon, mailings ribbon, review ribbon, and view ribbon. So the file ribbon is up here. You have the basics like the save and the save as. The differences between those two is for the save as, it's when you're starting a new document and you want to save it, and then the save is when you're started working on a document and then you just want to save what you left off. Then you have the export, which lets you save it as a PDF file or any other type of file that you want to save it as. Then you have the basic print, which asks you, like, do you want to have it double-sided, landscape, portrait, and what print do you want to print it to. And then if you click on options or that you change the language, check proofing, customize the ribbon, in which you get a checklist that has things checked off, and if you need a certain thing, go to options, which you're sure they have it. And then you also have a new page, which for ask you what type of, well, actually it'll just give you like a new page, and you just double click on that. Then you have the home ribbon, and you have the different fonts, the size of the font, the bold, the underline, the italics. And then you have the, like, do you want your space, your paragraph to go to the left or to the right? Or do you want the paragraphs to be aligned? Or do you want the paragraphs to start in the center? Then you have the line spacing. And then you have the borders, which if you're like making it, like you really want something boxed in, you could either say, do you want it top border, left border, right border, or no borders whatsoever. Then you have the paragraph marker, which tells you if you have certain things like paragraphed, and then you can click on that and it would show you, and then just unclick it and it won't be there anymore. And then you have the font color change. Gives you a bunch of different colors, and you can get more colors. And then you can also get gradients to change it. And then you have the indents to increase indent and then decrease indent. And then bullet points if you want a numbered list. And then if you want a variety of different things, they also have that option for you to use. And then you have your headings. You have heading 1, 2, and then you can create a style for heading, clear formatting, or apply a style that you want. Then you have the insert ribbon. You have pictures, which you can go to your pictures that you have saved and open them, or you can go to the online pictures, where you can insert a photo into your document or into whatever you're working on, and it'll save you time instead of opening up the Internet Explorer and going to Google Images and doing all of that extra work. And then you have shapes, so if you need like a triangle or a moon shape, you can just click on it and it'll show up. Then you have the chart, and you can create different whole bunch of charts and see how that goes. And then you have the comment area, where you can either create a new comment or hide a comment or show comments. So if you're working on it as like a group of people on the same document, and instead of like talking to the person, you can just like leave a comment for them. And then if they want to see it or not, they can just hide it. And if they don't care, then they don't have to look at it. And then you have a text box. And it just has like different types of text boxes you can choose from. Like the Austin sidebar, which will just show up on the right side of your document. And you can draw a text box so you can make it the own size you want. And then you have the banded sidebar, which will show up in color. And then you have the header and footer. And it gives you different options of what types you want. You can have a blank one, a blank with 3 columns, an Austin colored one, or a banded one. Then you have a footer, header, and they're used for showcasing titles and other things like that. And then you have the design ribbon, and you have your basic themes, which would change the page of what kind of theme you want. So if a teacher wants like a Berlin theme, you can just change it to that quite easily. You just click on it and the whole page changes for you. And then you have your different titles that you can use. I don't use basically any of them, so yeah, they're there for you. And then you can change the colors. And then you can change the fonts. Just like in the home, you can change like the type of font that you want. And then paragraph spacing, and then effects. Basically everything that we have used. And then you have page color and page borders. You can mess around with that if you want to make your page fancy. And then you have the page layout, where you can change the indent left, right, or spacing before and after. And then you have page breaks. So you can have like a page in a column, or you can make the page break for the next page, or you can have a continuous break, which will start a new section on the same page, or an even page, where the new section on the next even numbered page will show up. And then you have columns where you can have 1, 2, 3. You can basically have up to 3 columns. And then you can change the columns to either left or right. And then you also have row columns that you go into. So you can change the width and the spacing. And then you have the margins for the pages. So if like a teacher wants you to have a narrower page, you can have a narrow page. Narrow margin, And then you can have like a wide margin. Then you have the references. And you have like the table of contents, so you can make a table of contents. Then you can also insert a citation, as we have done before. And then if you click on insert citation, all you have to do is follow the instructions as given, so you can either add a new source or add a new place order. If you add a new place order, it will ask you the name of the source you want to hold, and you can always edit them later on if you want to change what it's called, so it's easier to memorize. Then you have the bibliography. You can change the style by looking for the APA box and clicking the down arrow to change what type of source you want. They have the options of using APA, Chicago, MLA, and etc. Then you have the mailings. It's a really simple one. You can create an envelope. You can also make labels. Start a mirror merge, which we have done in class. And all you have to do is know what you're doing for that, and then just follow the instructions. And then you have select recipients. So you can either choose from a new list or use an existing list, and it would save you a whole bunch of time in doing that. Then you have the review ribbon, and on this ribbon, you have the translate page, or you can translate document, or you can translate the selected text if it's like in, let's say, Spanish, French, or German. And then you have spelling and grammar, so that basically checks your grammar and spelling. If you're a terrible speller, that comes in really handy. And then you have the language, like language references. You can goof around with that. I never used it, but it's actually quite fun to use. Um, and then if you want to go through your changes that you made in a document, you can go to the changes, and then they have the previous or the next. So if you press on the previous, obviously you're going to go backwards. And then if you click on the next, it would obviously go forward. Then the view ribbon. Um, you have the zoom. You have the ruler. If you click on that, the ruler will show up. Then you have the grid lines, which is just a bunch of lines on your document, so you can see if things have evened or out of like whack. And then you have the read mode, which makes it really easy to like read a page. And then the print layout, which will tell you how to like what it looks like if you print it. And then the web layout. And then it would just show you like how a web page looks as a web page. I mean, document look as a web page.